Attention firefighters. What if I told you that you could replace your whole entire salary with just this one ETF? In this video, we're gonna break down into three categories: the entry, the median, and the peak level salaries of a firefighter. And we're gonna use the 14% yield in order to get our figures. So what is this ETF I'm talking about? The ETF is called QQQI. What is QQQI? QQQI is a covered call ETF that generates monthly income by selling options on the NASDAQ 100. So not only that this ETF sells the covered calls, which generates the premium, but it also invests in the NASDAQ 100 to participate in the growth. Now that you know what QQQI is, let's get to the numbers. The entry-level salary for a firefighter is $47,000 a year. So if we wanted to get our QQQI figures, we would have to take 47,000 and divide it by 0.14. That's going to give us $335,000 that we would need to have invested into QQQI in order to replace the entry-level salary of a firefighter. The mid-tier salary of a firefighter is $65,000 a year. So if we wanted to figure out how much QQQI we would need to replace the mid-tier salary of a firefighter, we would need to take 65,000 and divide it by 0.14. That's going to give us $465,000 that we would need to have invested in QQQI to replace the mid-level salary of a firefighter. All right, last but not least, the peak salary. So the peak salary for a firefighter is $97,000 a year. So in order to get our QQQI figures, we're gonna have to take that salary, which is $97,000 a year, and divide it by 0.14. That's gonna give us $695,000 invested into QQQI ETF. All right, guys, let's do a brief summary. To replace the entry-level salary, we will need $335,000 invested into QQQI. To replace the median salary, we will need $465,000 invested into QQQI. And last but not least, to replace the peak salary, we will need $695,000 invested into QQQI ETF. Firefighters are the backbones of society, and it's a very lucrative job. But there are some challenges that firefighters face, such as very little to no sleep, relationship strains. They have to deal with extreme heat while fighting fires. When you are working at a job, you are trading your time and energy for money. When you own assets that pay passive income, that's what's going to get you to freedom. When you have assets that produce passive income, that means you don't have to clock in or clock out. You don't have to do what your boss tells you to. You're a free person. And also that means you can spend time with your family, more time with your friends. You could spend more time doing what the hell you want to do. If you are somebody who is wanting to retire early, just look at your current situation, all right? Look at your salary and ask yourself, how much is this going to cost for me to become financially free? What is the price to become financially free? Once when you figure out that number, then you can start pursuing that number and becoming financially free. Now, I am not going to say that you're going to pursue financial freedom in 5 years, 10 years. It might take you 20, 30, 40 years. It's all going to depend on you. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for information purposes, so please do your own due diligence. And guys, QQQI, in my opinion, is a great ETF. It has been producing phenomenal returns in the past, and it is producing phenomenal returns in the present, but that does not mean future returns are guaranteed. Guys, you got to understand, QQQI is an investment. So with any investment, it carries risk. You got to think about this, guys. QQQI's NAV can erode, the dividend can decline, and we can also go through dividend cuts, especially if we are in a downturn market. So never invest all of your eggs in one basket. That wraps up everything. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. If you guys like this video, please subscribe to my channel and also hit that notification bell so you know when my videos will pop up. All right, guys, thank you again for watching and tuning in. I will see you guys in the next video.